Located in southwestern Pakistan, Balochistan is the largest province in Pakistan with an area of 347,190 square kilometers, bordered by Afghanistan to the north, Iran to the west, the Arabian Sea to the south, the geopolitical regions of the Middle East, and southwest Central and South Asia, and at the entrance to the Strait of Hormuz and providing the shortest route from the seaport to Central Asia. Balochistan's unique geographic location has made it a contested territory, and as a result the region has witnessed extremely frequent regime changes, failing to become a mono-ethnic regime, and remaining a zone of ambiguity, for a considerable period of time. Going back in history, Baluchi nationalism is inherently divisive. The opportunity for the Balochistan Liberation Army to emerge can be traced back to before the creation of Pakistan. During British colonial rule, the eastern part of Balochistan was occupied by Britain as part of what became British India, while the western and northern parts sought protection from the Persian Empire and the Kingdom of Afghanistan, respectively, and thereafter became the territory of what is now Iran and Afghanistan. It was not until the partition of India and Pakistan that the eastern Balochistan region became independent again along with the North India region, and became the largest Balochistan province in what is now Pakistan. The Baluchis wanted independence as a Greater Baluchistan after the British colonialists withdrew, but this was not accepted by the Muslim League. In 1970, the National Awami Party, a Balochi Pashtun nationalist party, took the provincial assembly in general elections, and won Balochistan's majority in the corresponding seats in the National Assembly, and also formally formed a provincial government with the Islamic Doctrine Union. But Sardar Attah's NPP provincial government was later dissolved on charges of being a separatist, and some 50 senior members of the party were jailed for treason. The newly inaugurated provincial government is pro-federal, but representatives of the Balochistan leadership are finding it difficult to align themselves with the new government. The discontent and confrontation of the Balochi leadership with the federation culminated in the rebellion and ensuing military intervention in Balochistan in the 1970s. In 1979, when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, a large number of refugees from Afghanistan to Pakistan were resettled in the northern part of Balochistan, where the native Balochi welcomed the Balochi from Afghanistan, but were extremely disgusted by Afghan refugees of other nationalities, who were seen as crowding out their living space and subsidized treatment. During this period, better-known separatist organizations such as the Balochistan National Liberation Council, the Parali Guerrillas, and the Balochistan Students' Organization emerged, etc. It is said that the original BLA was built around the core of the BSO. The outbreak of the Islamic Revolution in Iran and the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan also made the United States determined to support the development of the Saudi-led Wahhabi sect in the Muslim world. With the support of the US government, the Saudi government and the CIA have funded large numbers of extremist Wahhabi radicals to travel to Afghanistan and Pakistan for missionary and jihadist activities. Some Baluchis, who are Sunni Muslims with ethnic separatist tendencies, have become increasingly aggressive after being baptized in Wahhabi jihadist ideology. In addition, a large number of Balochi youths who went to Afghanistan to participate in the jihad returned home after the war with weapons, having gained combat experience and having long been influenced by extremist religious ideology in the Afghan theater. Their participation provided the Balochi anti-government forces with men and equipment for armed confrontation, and helped establish links between the separatist forces and the Taliban and Al-Qaeda active in Afghanistan. BLA's extreme nationalism and resentment of the Pakistani government are linked to history, identity, and resources. Balochistan is rich in natural resources, but is currently underexploited, economically underdeveloped, with poor infrastructure and low per capita income. This economic backwardness has led to Balochistan's marginal position in Pakistan's domestic politics, with a small and largely subordinate Baloch population in the central government and military. The development of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and One Belt One Road in recent years has triggered political and economic anxiety among Balochi separatist forces, who fear that Balochistan, with its unique geographical location and rich natural resources, is a target of Chinese commercial capital plunder. Secondly, the rigid perception pattern of Balochi separatist forces towards the outside world has deepened their negative perception of China-Pakistan economic and trade relations. Together with the absence of Balochi representatives in the project's decision-making hierarchy, a long-standing suspicion and struggle with the Pakistani government makes them feel that Balochi interests cannot be safeguarded, and the attracted population from outside the province poses a threat to Balochi employment and livelihood. These are contradictory to their political aspirations. The Pakistani government is also not taking effective action to mitigate ethnic and religious tensions. There is a growing discontent among the Balochi separatist forces